This is what I want to do since we are talking about conversation and words. I think I owe an apology that I extended in general to your section, but I don't think it was really caught in the way that I intended. A couple months ago, and me and you knowing each other for a few years through online. We've met in person before today, but our whole relationship was based online, and we realized we had a lot of mutual acquaintances. And I know a lot of people don't realize, even though our set's not enemies, they're not allies. And it's a relationship that have, us not be mature in these times. It can be tricky through times.
Right.
And we respected it from day one, and we've been cool. And then shout out to Munchie B. One of the most viral clips in our culture recently was about gangbang etiquette and how you speak when him and the homie from Santana had their exchange. And it puts me in the mind frame of me being on live recently, loaded, feeling myself, slide through the east side, and I used some verbiage that was disrespectful towards your section. I know you wasn't, you didn't know about it, but you called me like, cuz, man, my homie's getting at me, cuz. And man, you talk so often and it's so agreeable. When you call me with this tone of voice, I'm like, damn, who could
You remember you just was talking to me about 30 minutes prior.
Yeah, and everything was how it always it was how it always was.
Yeah.
So when you call me back with the intensity in your voice, and you're like, man, my homies call me, they say, man, you must have said whoop whoop. I'm thinking in my head, I knew what I said immediately. And I'm like, damn, Avalon gangsters getting that tune about what I said. And my brain just immediately realized the amount of people it could be getting at you that I don't have a personal rapport with and that might really be confused about what I said. And I'm like, damn, man, I do my best to be careful online and speak how I know I'm supposed to speak. I said some bullshit, totally unintentional. I corrected it immediately, but I'm so loaded, when I go watch it back, right after I corrected it, I said the bullshit again.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I corrected it, got humble, got loaded, and I said it again. So I'm like, damn. You like, man, Spider, let me just, you like, all I want to know is who, which one of your homies? And cause the world has no idea. They have, shout out to my nigga Lil Shug from 88th Street, from the guards for the projects. When you said the name, you don't know, like, the level of like, damn, what kind of, how I'm gonna have to like, and when you said who it was, I don't think you realized, you see how extra out I got. I knew it was no problem.
Yeah.
It's like what you didn't know at that moment, you know now. What a lot of people don't know, fuck what y'all think about the set and the Avalons. Suge raised a whole lot of my cripping. And that's based on his relationship with my big brother, Big SPI. Free TC from 8-8. Got a real controversial situation online right now. These are like peers of mine since youth. And even though in general you might think that it's tension between the 90s and the 80s because of the EC Avalon shit, in the 80s and the 90s it never really has been highly due to my brother's relationship with Snake, rest in peace, and Suge, my nigga Dice, rest in peace, and a lot of other niggas from 8-8, TCs. It's a whole lot of people they grew up with. At one point, my brother first jumped off the porch based on his fucking with Snake. Niggas thought he might have been from Avalon first. So it was never my intention to be disrespectful, but it just reminded me of the Munchie B, Beezy Santana incident where nobody really has ill intentions, but somebody says something that could offend another person, and you get to the point where when it was brought to my attention, I was immediately humble, expressed my intentions, and in my assessment, I think Beezy was immediately humble as well. But a lot of people don't think he was. They think he was still. You saw the content?
I seen it, and it depends on the mind frame you from, because you got some people when it went, and then even after he had got confronted by Munchie, a lot of people look at it as like, man, the homie still stood up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whoop, it's at their age, it's a pride thing. Because now it's like, okay, now you trying to punk me on camera. You trying to push a line on me on this camera and everybody gonna see. So even if it ain't in my heart to like, I got to now,
I agree with that.
It's just one of them situations.
A lot of people thought I was biased because I didn't take Munchie's side, but I didn't even take Beezy's side either. I'm not saying Munchie wrong or Beezy wrong. I understand the culture. I understand where shit went wrong. I see points where either of them could have did different and perhaps diffused it. But I know when it come to gang banging, a Crip and a Blood, at that moment, once certain energy is changed, it's up to both sides to say if there's no right and wrong after we engage at a certain energy. Your thoughts?
You know, me and Munchie just talked yesterday. I was in Darby Park with him and we was talking. And I said, well, you know, homie, I'm gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room, that situation. And so what a lot of people don't know, hours and hours prior to that incident, Munchie and the rest of the Damus and the homie from Santana,
Easy.
they was around each other and speaking how, and Munchie had asked him hours prior to that, okay, look, you ain't gotta, it's cool, I understand, but you don't have to cuz me so much. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm still a blood, and the homie from Santana had agreed, like, oh yeah, you're right. But now, when I was talking to Munchie, I explained to him, I'm like, man, you still got to realize, you grew up as a Damu. We grew up as Keyways. From this all the way to this is our vocab. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, what's up, homie? What's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Or the N word, oh, what's up, N, or whatever. And if you engaged in a fluent, running conversation, you're going to say your word. It's you cannot stop it. You don't know. Half the time, you don't even know it's coming out. It's like talking to Bosco 100. He's gonna blood you every third word, and it's not meant as disrespect, but this is where we grew up at. This is our culture, our society. This is our upbringing, and it is. And so when it happened again, I guess it got to the point where Munchie was just kind of like fed up with it. And like he said, well, who cussed me? He can't see, so he's like, who cussed me? So then, like, oh boy, me. Santana. You know what I'm saying? What's the homie name? Beezy? Beezy Santana. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, at that time, it's like, okay, now we on camera, we on air. And here it is. I'm a blood. 50 million bloods watching this. And here, you hit me with it. And so, like I was telling them yesterday, I say that's kind of like the same situation when T-Rail interviewed Baby Stone Gorillas about that. And I told him, I don't use the word, I just spell it. The CRAB word.
You called me about that.
I did, huh?
Yeah.
And when he interviewed him and he was skinning and grinning and Munchie even understood it. Munchie said, yeah, that was kind of, he said, man, even he felt like T-Rail was laughing and joking about it. He said it wasn't that ain't nothing funny. You know what I'm saying?
It was for you to bring it up.
Right. Yeah, that's what he told me. Say, he the one brought it up.
Yeah. And if you chose to bring it up,
interviewing you, Adamu, I'm not. Hey, I'm a journalist when I'm behind this camera. You know what I'm saying? I understand there's certain stuff I got to accept, but that I'm not though. You know what I'm saying? Stop, homie. Hey, that's what we not gonna do. We not gonna sit here and use CRAB or SLOB and none of that. You know what I'm saying? No, none of it. It ain't funny. It ain't. I don't care because you put in your music and none of that. No, homie, we ain't finna do that because at the end of the day, I'm still a Crip.
Oh God, oh my mama, words of disrespect. And as I discussed this conversation, like in the comments, I made that comparison. It's different if somebody said rap, lop. That's going out. But like you say, as we are amongst each other, we don't use the word cuz as a disrespect ever. It's always a term of endearment.
Right.
So if I'm accepting you in a level of comfort and I use that term, it's like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So it may offend you, but I think being offended by it is more of a personal thing than what you can expect each individual you encounter from the opposite side to agree with. And I think tone of voice had a lot to do with it.
Exactly. It's the energy that you put in to your comeback.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't make no judgment. It's game.
Right.
Game. We seen shit go up over way smaller than that.
Smaller than that.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Munchie B is a genuinely good dude, man.
Solid.
Yeah, he really is. He's a genuinely good dude, man. it's just, you know, that was just one of them things.
Yeah, it was a moment.
You know?
It was just
one
a
of them moments.
moment, and I was just curious to get your thoughts on that because I know Munchie B, he was very limited on his discussion of the incident, and when he did choose to speak with a Crip, he chose the homie Hoodie from San Diego, and I think I don't know if that was strategic or just happenstance, but Hoodie's experience being from Dago, I don't know if they beef with any Crips whatsoever.
No.
So and I think it's more like CKBK. That's the way it go. And I think his perspective on it's gonna be a lot more pure about just blood and cuz. So out here we know, even though the Hoovers put a brand on it, everybody's CKBK. And we might not bang it, but on a lot of times on the east side, my whole experience, my directs, it was more than homies.
Right.
I mean, it was more Crips than ops. And when I look at the overall subject, this is the main thing I take away from it. You could be from neighborhood, and if you got a homie from Hoover, a loved one, no matter how many times they groove you, you don't get offended.
Right.